GYDO. Hey, I'm Trent and Deb's youngest son, Jason, brother to the groom here. Rumor has it they were trying for a boy, and they ended up with two that looked the same. Sometimes I think they forget that, though, because they call me Jacob a lot. Jacob gave a speech at my wife's wedding, and it was fairly decent. I recommended we go to the bathroom before this, and I can sit where he's at, and he can give his own speech. And that got vetoed. Or did it? Anyway, I'll tell a few stories and say a few things, and we'll get on with it. So I've known Jacob a while. For those of you who don't know, Jacob is 7 minutes older than me, and he wasn't always the angel that you guys think he is. See, when when we were growing up, Jacob was always bigger than me, and he knew it. Sometimes I think it's because my parents accidentally fed him twice, and me not at all. But that's just speculation. Anyway, when we were younger, all our toys and motorcycles, anything really, came in twos, but they weren't always the same. Anyway, Jacob picked whichever one he liked, and that was his. We had a pretty good-sized playhouse when we were younger that my dad built. I had a chance to get back at Jacob a little bit one day. We were standing on the roof, and I gave him a small nudge off the edge. He was fine after a bit of crying, but there were two downfalls to that situation. See, his actual fall and the fact that my mom saw me do it. That does not prove beneficial to me. Throughout school, I would say, and I think most would agree, that I've always been a bit more studious than Jacob. A good example of this is when we were in 4th or 5th grade. I was studying for a social studies test, and Jacob was messing with an airsoft BB gun in our shared bedroom. I was holding my studies in front of my face, no doubt absorbing everything. And Jacob thought it would be a good idea to shoot that BB gun through the paper that I was holding. I got to turn the page here. The BB went right through the paper like it was nothing and left me screaming on the ground like the child I was. Jacob ran over to comfort me quickly and told me to shut up or Mom would hear. Anyway, I got a C on that test, but I had an excuse. Realistically, though, Jacob didn't really harass me that much. We both held our own, and most of the trouble we got in was a joint effort. Jacob and I really enjoyed sports when we were younger. About every day we played something. It was usually an even match, so it got fairly competitive. Every day we would wait for our dad to get home and throw us batting practice. I hit a lot of grounders. Jacob hit a lot over the fence. So that was aggravating, but I got over it. We also put tens of thousands of miles on our dirt bikes and snowmobiles. I could tell a lot of stories about those, but I think my mom would have a heart attack. These were also one of the reasons my dad's hair never turned gray. It just fell out. Overall, we had a really fun childhood. We caused our parents a lot of stress, I'm guessing, but they aged well. They knew we always looked out for each other, and we always showed up for lunch and supper. When we both went off to college, it was the first time we really weren't together. And that was fine, because I think we both needed a break for a while. Through college, we made a lot of new friends. Those friends almost always became both of our friends. We had a, we had a lot of fun through college, but never let that get in the way of our passion of farming. The more I think about it, though, Jacob never let college get in the way of anything. Jacob and I both had a goal of farming full time when we were younger, and we put a lot of hours and a lot of hard work in together. It wasn't always easy working together at the start. Um, Through everything, though, we figured out that we actually meshed quite well. I'm good at breaking a lot of things, and Jacob's really good at fixing them. Jacob doesn't know how to run a calculator, and I enjoy it. It worked well once we figured it out, uh, what we were good at, and started to respect one another. It's been a hell of a time, and I look forward to the future. Now let's talk about Hope. Hope has been around for quite a while. The first time I met Hope was at Sports Bar in downtown Fargo. Hope asked my now wife which one of the twins was single. I do recall this because Jacob and I were fairly full at the point. And I'm guessing Alyssa thought about saying me. But anyway, when she asked Alyssa that, oddly enough, I was standing right next to Jacob at the bar, and I bet that was confusing for Hope. I have no idea what we talked about, but when Hope walked away, Jacob had that look in his eye, like he might finally move out of my parents' basement. They must have exchanged emails or something later that night, because we saw a lot more of Hope after that. As a matter of fact, a few months went by and Jacob bought a house in Fargo, and Trent and Deb finally got rid of the last one. Hope has fit in with her family and friends since the start. She's kind, thoughtful, outgoing, and very supportive. It has been fun to watch her with River. It's very evident that she is and will continue to be a great mother. Your love for Jacob and River is very apparent, and I don't think I could pick a better person for Jacob. I'm proud of Jacob for not screwing it up. Also, nice work on everything, Hope. I know Jacob didn't do much. Overall, Jacob and Hope, you make a great couple and even better parents. Like Jacob said at my wedding, I'll always be there for both of you. And if you don't want me there, I'll probably still be there. Anyway, Alyssa and I look forward to making a lot more memories with you guys. And you look beautiful. Jacob, you look like me. You guys are all great. Thanks for coming.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sam, Hope's best friend and matron of honor. What I think Hope was really worried about is how she knows, and how many of you may know, is I tend to talk way too much. So I promised to keep my speech to a list of just posts of a few of Hope and I's most precious memories together. I've been so excited for their wedding, I'm not going to lie. I wrote this speech days after they got engaged, knowing this might be my one chance to give a maid of honor speech. No one can put up with me quite like Hope can. Since I've been working on this speech for so long, I did my research. The number one rule is to not embarrass the bride. So if you want to hear all of Hope's embarrassing stories, come find me at the bar later. Hope, I want to thank you for countless years of girlhood bliss filled with love, laughter, support, endless selfies, and shots. I'm looking forward to a lifetime more. And Jacob, I hope you are too, because you're never getting rid of me. Hope, you are the most beautiful bride I've ever seen. You are just glowing. And Jacob, or Jason, because if it wasn't for the white tie, I really wouldn't know who was who. But Jacob, I must say you are looking pretty spiffy as well. I can just feel your love and everyone's love for you radiating through the room. When I started reminiscing on our friendship over the last 20 years, many stories come to mind. You've always been my go-to girl and up for everything. I'll never forget the day I first met you at the swimming pool, and I had to ask why you were wearing a bikini. If you didn't know Hope as a child, she loved to play and hang out with the boys, and she even took it as far to have a short haircut with ice tips. For little me, that was quite confusing to see you in a two-piece swimsuit. So after we clarified that she was indeed a girl, she asked me to come play at her house. And when I called my dad and asked if I could, his response was, "Is that the sheriff's kid?" Which she said, yep. So I got the go-ahead that I could go over and play. We have been inseparable since. There was also a time when Hope lived with me and my parents. And instead of having her own bedroom, which there was 2 extras to pick from, we shared a room, bed, dresser, and closet. And I think we ate mac and cheese for lunch every single day. And as fun as it was, we also might have bickered like sisters many times. And we spent many weekends climbing out of my parents' basement window. Sorry, moms and dads. One of my absolute favorite memories is when my parents took us to Florida. That might have been the first time Hope and I got to try tequila. So after experimenting what we could mix it with, we were in the kitchen, singing and dancing, and we were trying to figure out how to twerk. As we were acting like complete fools, my dad comes walking into the kitchen, and we were so embarrassed. I like to think we've grown up since then. There are a million things to love about Hope. You have always been here for me for every good moment, bad moment, and everything in between. We've gone through so many milestones together, and it has been so fun to watch you go from a tomboy to a wild teenager to now a loving and strong wife and mother. Jacob, I am so thankful you came into my best friend's life. You've been so amazing to her, and you make her so happy. There's nothing more I could have asked for in the man for my best friend. You guys created the most perfect baby girl, and I am looking forward to raising our daughters together. If they are anything like Hope and I were, pray for us. You have always welcomed me into your home with open arms and put up with all of our shenanigans. I am so thankful after all those late nights, you are always willing to order a pizza with me. By the way, I have a very important question. Where are we going to order pizza from tonight? As I am wrapping things up here, I just want to tell you, Jacob, that I hope you love growing old with her as much as I've loved growing up with her. All right, everybody. I'm ready to party. So, raise your glasses with me for a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Raisler.
So good. I love you so much.
Everybody, I'm Trent, Jacob's dad. Ryan, go ahead and put your earmuffs on. That'll be fine. I want to welcome everybody here tonight. Great. Hope, you did an awesome job. Jacob, you did too. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, it's really good. Anyway, I just want to say a few words here. I remember it was about 6 years ago when Hope came onto the scene, I believe, and Jacob brought her out to the farm one day because he and Jason had obviously something to do. It was a Sunday afternoon, and they work every day. So they were out there, and Hope came along, and I happened to be watching a Vikings game. So she came in and introduced herself, and Jake said, "Yeah, this is Hope, and she grew up in Hope." I was just thinking, we should have named Jacob Leonard. That'd be anyway. No, maybe not. Anyway, Hope has been watching Vikings game ever since, I think, Vikings games. She'll text me from time to time when they're playing just to see what I think, and it's kind of cool. We kind of connected that day, and I think she watches more football than Jacob does actually now. So, but no, what I noticed about Hope is she's always smiling. She's always got that smile, see? Jacob smiles too, but Jacob even smiles when you're mad at him. He gives you that smile, and it just anyway. But no, they both smile a lot, which is great. And she laughs at my dad jokes. Most of my kids do not, and my son-in-law is kind of fallen over to their side. So thanks, Hope, for coming in. Yeah, she's always smiling, always happy. Jacob, a few words about Jacob now. He's a very hard worker, and Hope learned right away that if you got Jacob, Jason's going to be there too, because they're always working together. And so Hope's kind of gotten used to the farming lifestyle, and I think she's really taken to it. And she's out on the farm quite a bit. And Jacob and Jason, for all you know, they're 6th-generation farmers on our farm, so it's kind of cool. And actually, during wheat harvest this year, Hope brought River out, so she got to ride in the combine, so that was cool too. And I think she enjoyed it, actually. It was kind of cool. So let's talk about River a little bit. Brought River on the scene, and it's been awesome. If you haven't seen her, she's got big blue eyes and always smiling. So she's just like these two. So that's kind of cool too. And then before I gave this speech tonight, I talked to Bryce a little bit. He always likes to be included in these speeches. So I asked Bryce one day, he was out when we were doing wheat harvest. I said, "So what do you want me to say? What do you think of Hope?" And this is a quote: "She's awesome." So I thought that was pretty cool. And Bryce has been with these guys since they were kindergarten, preschool. So he's kind of one of the group. But anyway, I want to again say congratulations to you guys, and I'd like to raise a toast. But this toast is a little bit different. I want everybody to repeat after me. There is hope for Jacob.